Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com with fabulous orchestral programs, fabulous concert programs, whatever I call this series. Number 12. This is the last in our cycle of Martinu symphonies, where we find fabulous programs that fit the presentation of each one of his 6 magnificent works in the medium. And we're up to his 6th symphony, the Fantaisies symphonique. Ooh, how juicy. My goodness, what a masterpiece this thing is. It was commissioned at the very end of his life by the Boston Symphony and recorded unforgettably by Charles Munch with that orchestra, but it was also recorded quite wonderfully by the Czech Philharmonic and a bunch of Czech conductors, and it's been rather popular ever since, at least on disc. It's in 3 movements. In some ways, it's fascinating. It's his most austere work orchestrally. It doesn't use a harp. It doesn't use a piano like various of all of the other symphonies do. But in terms of sheer sound, it's the most exotic and fascinating of all of them. It really is. Everybody talks about how the openings of the first 2 movements begin like an exotic cloud of insects buzzing around. And I did a video in the How It's Done series where I talk about the opening of this symphony with some musical examples. So if you want to go see it, the score, and hear how it sounds, go have a look at that video because it really is an extraordinary piece. And so I took that sound, that buzzing little insect sound, as the takeoff point for this particular program. Now, I am not generally in favor, and I've said this before, of theme concept programs unless that theme and concept is readily audible musically, because we're talking about music. I mean, you could come up with a million concert programs about some topic, storms or something. And I love storms. I love orchestral storms, but essentially the topic is extra musical. And the music itself may go together, or they may not go together as a program. I've tried to come up with a program that will deliver on the sound of the actual music. And that's what I would like all of you to keep in mind, because that's not how programs are made, and they should be. They're about what you hear, not about what it's about externally. And this program has 2 bug pieces. Here's the program. Let me just go through it, and I'll tell you what it is. First of all, Vaughan Williams, The Wasps, Overture, which begins with some chirping and buzzing, which really will sound a bit like the Martinu. It's kind of fun to put them next to each other. But after that, it's vintage Vaughan Williams. It's English, folksy, gorgeous melodies and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about the buzzing all that much. That's almost incidental color. Then we do the Martinu on the first half because it ends quietly. It has a very sad and well, tranquil, but it has a cataclysmic ending, big climax, and then a soft die away, fade away thing before a fabulous scene that always sounds to me like a nuclear reactor melting down or something. It's amazing. Just amazing. And it also has fabulous tunes of its own. It's a very melodic and tuneful piece. It's just that the tunes are surrounded in this sort of surreal orchestral setting. It's just so cool. Okay, then you go to intermission, having had a fabulous first half, and saying to yourself, the Wasps is the Wasps, but the Martinu doesn't say anything about insects at all, which is, I think is wonderful about it. Then you come back from intermission, and we do Albert Roussel, The Spider's Feast, his suite, which he called fragments symphoniques, symphonic fragments from the full ballet. Actually, the full ballet is only about half an hour, and the suite chops 10 minutes out of it. It's fine for concert purposes to do the suite. It is just a luminous, wonderful score about, of course, insects of various types. Really, really nifty sounding. And Roussel was Martinu's teacher. So there's an extra musical sort of connection there, which we don't have to worry about. But it's true, and the 2 composers kind of go well together. But this is one of Roussel's impressionist pieces. It's not one of his hard-driving neoclassical works. And it fits in this program marvelously because you've just heard all this buzzing and zipping, and you get a little bit more, although Roussel's insects are not as buzzy as Martinu's or Vaughan Williams's. So it's a different take on it. And what's fun is that when you look at the program, you only relate sort of the first two works to insect sounds or nature or whatever it is. The Martinu you don't. And the next work you obviously won't, which is Rachmaninov's Paganini Rhapsody. Well, why is that there? Okay, first of all, because I love it. Second of all, because it's a flaming masterpiece. Thirdly, because you can get a hotshot soloist who'll bring everybody back for the second half, and they'll really enjoy the second half. And my goodness, I happen to think that it fits with the rest of the music. I don't know why. I mean, that tune, maybe it has a kind of insectoid presence in my mind. I don't know. I just think that the work fits with the other things on the program. And, I like I said at the beginning of this talk, musical considerations are always paramount. I want to have great music that people are going to love. And, the Paganini Rhapsody, who are we kidding? And it also gives the pianist a chance to end the concert with a bang. I mean, actually, the piece ends with a little, it's witty, ending. It's a big climax, and then doom, ba-doom. But it really is a wonderful way to end a program, I think, and it'll give the pianist a big ballad. If people are on their feet screaming and jumping up and down, I even provide an encore. Rimsky-Korsakov's The Flight of the Bumblebee. That completes our portrait of insects zipping around orchestrally. And the conclusion of our Martinu Symphony Cycle. I think this is just a terrific program. I really do. I would go see it in a minute. I don't know if anybody else would, but I think it would be just enormous fun, refreshing and delightful and full of just high spirits and wonderful tunes and incredibly colorful orchestration. I mean, it's everything I want in a program. And I think it's what other conductors should deliver to their audiences. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.